Hello, hello, everybody. It is Friday evening. So we just want to make a brief, just do a brief couple of updates and then take whatever questions you have this week. We have a few things we want to put to bed. We have a few things we want to announce, and then we're going to call it a night. So go ahead, Michelle, I'll let you start.
All right, so, all right, CoPays. All right.
CoPays,
CoPays, the dreaded CoPays. All those psycho fans from the 1960s.
Listen up, folks. We're going to say this once, and we're not going to talk about this again.
Okay, even my cat, who I know she'll be here to put her butt into the screen like she did last week. Okay, they need to be paid. Okay, we said this even before the beginning of the year. Okay, keep your receipts. Hopefully, we will get them out there. Okay, we'll get them into the appeal. And yes, we said that. All right, but okay, call GHI. How about that's an idea? Okay, we know people have been calling GHI. We have called GHI and we get the same response. Oh, the city told us to put those copays in place. Okay, yes, we know that. All right, so call them, talk to them. And again, all those Roadhouse fans, be nice. Don't yell at them. They will talk to you. And when you get them on the phone, they will chatty catty with you 45 minutes to an hour. We know that. We've been on the phones. Okay, so again, we're putting it to bed. We can't do anything about that. Okay, but we are fighting in the backgrounds for the copays. All right, so again, please stop bringing it up. We have it in the background. Okay, we are fighting for it. Okay, we did not forget about it. Please do not make our moderators crazy. Do not make us crazy. Do not make me crazy on the emails. Okay, we did not forget. All right, we love you. I know it. Okay, so.
And this is still part of the court case. It's still part of the argument because the last judge didn't address all of our problems. Unfortunately, we now have to address them again. And this is going to take time. So listen to what Michelle is saying, the moderators. We don't want to keep discussing this. If this keeps coming up on the post, we're just going to delete them. We started doing a hashtag into some of the threads so that you can go up to the looking glass and search by topic. So like there was one that today that Jean had posted on it about the copays, trying to tell another member of the page to go ahead and just pay them, keep track of them. But you need to do your due diligence, folks. If you're getting bills in the mail, you just don't pay a bill. You need to go on to Medicare, make sure that Medicare got it and paid it, and then you need to go to your secondary and make sure it was paid there too. Sometimes insurance doesn't always click over to your secondary for whatever reason. You need to make sure it was processed through both and that the balance is truly your balance, okay? Because now you're in the beginning of the year, you know, we are in April. Some people really haven't gone to the doctor. Maybe you're still in the deductible phase. You still have to pay that. So once you start, you know, once you get out of the deductible area, then you're just paying your copays. But we've been saying this now for 4 months and it's getting exhausting. You have to pay them, keep track of them. This is still in the court. We have no further answer on it. And I don't want to keep bringing it up because honestly, repeating ourselves is getting a little ridiculous at this point. In 4 months of giving the same, actually it's more than 4 months of giving the same message. This is a little, you know, it's a little crazy. So please listen to what Michelle said. Do your due diligence, check your Medicare and check your secondary. Make sure that it was paid. If it's due, pay it and just put it in a folder and keep track of it for later on.
Right. And again, I know, again, as we all say, and you know what's even more funny? As we all say, oh, back in my day, I remember as a little kid, I used to hear my grandparents, my mother say, oh, back in my day, and you know what? And like the girls will chat, Marianne and I and Madeline and, you know, and we'll say, oh, and then I'll say, oh my gosh, I'm one of those people saying, oh, back in my day, you know, and I'm saying it now. So you know what? It's not like that anymore. So you know what? Yes, things are changing. Things are weird. Okay. And we're seeing some strange stuff that's coming out there. Okay. With all and the way stuff's coming out there. So yes. Okay. So it's not the same. So again, so let's please put this to bed, okay?
I want to
Again.
say something else too on that
Good.
before we move on. I just saw a message and I wanted to, oh, someone said, well, I went to the doctor and I didn't get charged. Okay, so the reason you're not getting charged up front is because you don't have a new card. On the new card, if you had a new card, it would say you have a copay. And when you register at the doctor's office, they would know at the time of service to collect your copay. Because you don't have a new card, because it's not on your card when you register that you have a copay due, the office doesn't know. When they will
Okay.
know, go ahead. You want to finish my sentence? Go ahead.
Okay. Right. Yes, I am, because I am like the great Sarnak for those that used to watch Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
Okay. We believe, okay, and this is our whole synopsis with that GHI is not going to mail you new cards, because that's actually on my list. Yes, I still write on paper, even though I am technically challenged. I do everything on computers, but I do still write on paper. Okay, it's one of my list of things to talk about tonight. They are not sending out the new GHI cards because of the new map plan. They are not going to send out the new cards because they are going to wait. One, it wastes money, okay, to send out new GHI cards, because why are they going to send out new cards and print out new cards if people are going to go into the map plan? Okay, so it wastes printing money and blah, 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 and whatever their reasoning is, okay? So they're not going to print out. So I can tell you, my partner who needed a new GHI card, I asked for one, they sent a old card that he needed and it still has no copays on it. So again, they're not going to print out new cards until this plan or whatever it is that they're going to do goes into effect. So that's why nobody got the new copay card.
That's why you don't have a new card. But still, when you go to the doctor, they're not going to tell you that you're because they don't know. Wait, you will be billed. It will happen. You might get a whole bunch of them at the same time, so expect that. So just start remembering, if you've been to the doctor a half a dozen times, start putting aside that kind of cash, because you're going to need to pay it. So keep that in mind. So that will answer that question.
Okay, so we're going to put that to bed.
That's done.
Right?
Closed. Next.
Right, we're done. We're done.
Next.
Okay.
What's next?
Let's move on. All right, I just want a quick shout out, more prayers for Madeline. She's doing well. Her family's doing well. Things are looking better. We just more prayers, more positive energy for her and her family. So big mwah, okay. So she will be back on. So again, things are looking on the upstroke here. So I just wanted to shout that out.
She's not missing.
So anyway,
attending to personal family matters.
right. So things are looking good. So just
Good.
want to let you guys know, people have been asking. So, and I saw it on the chat as soon as we started. So
Good.
again, we're
See,
good.
Madeline's missed and loved.
That's right. So wanted to give that shout out. And same as Ralph last week, had some laryngitis. He wasn't feeling well. He's still under the weather, but Ralph is good. He's just, you know, simple change
Ralph
of the
is Ralph.
weather and blah, blah, blah. So again, you stuck with us too. So
There you
that's
go.
it.
Ellen, your question is, if we haven't met our Medicare deductible, will we still be charged a copay? No, you meet the deductible first. Once the deductible is met, then your copays are in effect. What else do we got? What's on your list?
No, you, on my list is pretty much
done?
done. I was just gonna talk about the copays, the GHI cards, that was it.
Okay.
You know,
So,
what do you got going on?
so next week we have, okay, so there's a couple more things. So we had, for those docket watchers, we had the Alliance, which is not a party to this case, submit 2 requests to add 2 more attorneys from their Washington DC office to I guess help them. I'm not really sure what their needs are. Maybe they're not capable of performing. I really have no idea what the issue is, but So getting more interesting, but we have our own appellate attorneys and Steve and Jake, and we have a very good team, and we're still feel that we're on very good footing with this, and we're not worried about any more additions to this situation, to this case. And I think that it shows that they're a little nervous, or maybe they're not feeling very good, that they have to keep bringing in more attorneys that aren't even New Yorkers. So the next thing is we have our rally next week. It will start, if you can all start to get to City Hall, be there for 2 o'clock, please. And then it'll move down the block by 3. But be there for 2 p.m. At City Hall. You'll see a whole crowd of seniors. That's where you should go. You'll see a lot of activity. I'm not gonna spread it, but you will find your people. And have a good time. And we'll talk about it again in a couple posts before we get there. But Wednesday is the day. Please be at City Hall before 2 p.m. please, and have a good day. I'm just gonna say have a really good day. So that's our Wednesday. That's our Wednesday. Did we have anything else?
Okay. So I know Jean answered. So again, with the opt-out, if you both of you are on Medicare, yes, you both need to opt out. Each one of you needs to do a form. We've said that in the past, and it is moving forward. You cannot call the 833 number because they are not taking any requests. You can do it electronically. If you do not, it is on our website.
Yeah, www.nycretirees.org. So go to our website, nycretirees.org. There is a link in the navigation bar for opt-out. Just click the link, get there. It'll pop up on your screen after you fill in all the information. And yes, you have to do one for you. And if your wife or spouse is Medicare eligible as well, or dependent is Medicare eligible, you need to do one for them as well. James, you asked, you haven't seen a decision yet on the city's request for an expedited hearing. Nope. And sometimes we may not get one. They're not going to spring this up on us that you only have a couple days left to do this. If decision comes in, then the decision comes in. But when I cannot foresee them just giving you a last minute. If they don't answer it, guess what that means? That's not expedited. That means maybe they don't even have the time to say no. Maybe they just don't even see the value in them, even having to answer it. You okay?
Yeah, no, I had to go get some.
Beginning next month, I start Medicare. This week, I switch to GHI Senior Care from HIP. I hope it's not too late. I have to opt out now, or do I have to wait until my health cards from GHI? If you already have, if you start Medicare next month, that means you already have your Medicare card. Opt out now. And the website, do it electronically, nycretirees.org. And go to opt out, and there's a link to Empire to be able to do it. And then either take a picture of your computer screen or click print screen and just print up your record that you did it.
Correct. And just to square away, I noticed a couple of emails that had come through. The reference number, because some people who are not on our Facebook page, because we are getting an uptick because our message is spreading, which is good.
Yeah.
Okay, so, right. So the reference number that we refer to is when you used to call that 833 number. Okay, that was for the people who took your call so that they can find you in their system. So when you get the email confirmation, when you used to do the electronic opt-out, or when they would send you the electronic confirmation, that when you talk to them and they would just send it to your email, that's not going to be on that receipt. Okay, so just don't panic. All right, so don't think you need a reference number. That's two separate things. Okay, so I've been seeing a little bit of an uptick on that. So again, don't panic. Again, we're in that little weird, awkward stage, kind of like puberty. Okay, as they used to say when you were a teenager.
I'm moving on.
All right.
Renee, the latest document submitted an independent attorney on behalf of the city. Are we reciprocating? First, no. The city did not put in a request for an independent attorney. It was the Alliance, because clearly the Alliance is an interested party here. They have an invested interest. And what did they say? $34 billion contract? They have a very weighty interest, and they want to make sure that their voice, their opinion, their want is heard. The court may tell them go scratch. At this point, they haven't even answered that yet. It's a request. It doesn't mean it'll get approved. And it's not an independent attorney. It is the Alliance's attorney. Those are all attorneys from the Alliance's offices. Hubble, I don't even remember I don't even remember the Alliance, the name of the firm. It was like Hubble or something. And it's their DC office, I believe. They're appellate attorneys, appellate litigators. They are not attorneys on behalf of the city. It is just like an amicus and a friend of them, in support of them, but it's not on their behalf. And no, we're not putting in any new attorneys, to my knowledge, at least not yet. If the attorneys tell us that they need more assistance, that will be fine, but they have appellate attorneys working with them already, so I think we're on good footing there. I know some of that gets confusing, but don't worry. We'll let you know if we need something more. And yes, appellate attorneys cost more money. Let's see. I wish you could attend the rally too, Lois. If you could get there, get there. Oh, you recently had surgery on your foot. Get a scooter. You really want to be there. If not, we totally understand. Don't worry. I'm sure there will be plenty of people there. I file my Medicare B reimbursement form in 2020 only to find out that they need more info. Okay, so send them more info. Yes, and do it electronically. Send it, go through OLR's website and send it through the portal. Make sure you take a screenshot so you can prove you actually sent it, and if you have to, send it certified to them. Because it seems like OLR is completely inept these days. They're not even able to handle what they're supposed to be doing. It's shameful that that agency runs the way that it runs. It's just progressively gotten worse over the years, and in the last 2 years, it's just absolutely horrible. So we've had people having to submit documents that they've had confirmations on through Leap File, that they've had to submit 3 and 4 times, then them telling them that they don't have their documents. I'm sorry that that's what you have to deal with, but until the mayor decides that they need a new commissioner and they hire more people and their work should be more efficient, as we know, we would have been fired for doing a job as inept as that agency does.
Will Shetton, Madeline will have an update on Monday for you on the new goal. She's just been dealing with personal stuff and she doesn't have a secure Wi-Fi, so she doesn't want to give that information over the unsecure Wi-Fi. So she will have the new update on how our fundraising is going with the new goal. So don't worry, we'll have it.
And I want to make a point on that too. And the city, I'm sure, is watching these videos. I don't always think I want to be publicizing how much money we're making. I want to have our pot of gold, and I want to be able to tell you that we either need your support or we don't. And for the time being, if we have to be able to be brief that way, it's just that this is a site that is monitored. Our websites are monitored. Our YouTubes are watched. And I can tell you are watched because the video that I just did the other day has almost 4,000 hits on it. And that's not just from us, because I'm also getting emails from people, comments from people that work in city agencies that are applauding what we are doing, that they know what's going on and that they are not happy. So trust me when I tell you, sometimes less is more. And I know that there's the need for transparency. That's what the board is for, the trustees are for, the advisors are for. And at some point, we have to just not hang everything out there for them to see. I don't want that to happen. I want you to be able to trust us, trust the advisors, trust the trustees, and make sure that they have a fiduciary responsibility. This is a full running corporation, literally full time. And I want you to be able to trust that. In our reports to you, we can tell you that we've collected a lot of money and that we have paid out almost everything that we've collected to the lawyers. We got another bill in today that was for one lawyer that was very high, but I mean, it was in prep for the appeal. Didn't have it was the arguments from the last, the closed oral arguments for the last case and appellate preparation. So we know that we have this motion to argue this, and then we have our cross motion. That's a second issue. That would be like a second case. And then we would have, if the appellate court throws this back down to the Supreme Court before Justice Frank, that then becomes a third action. So we're on this road together for a while. We're going to be really good friends. There's really no other way to say that. So if you could just not, I don't find a nice way of saying this is, I know you want to know, but there's sometimes we need to be discreet about what we're putting out there because it is being watched, and I don't want that used against us. We have seen where the city has done things like tactically wise, that they will just file papers and hammer you just to spend your money and hurt you. And I don't want to have to worry about that. Even if they do it, I want to be able to go, okay, this is the game we're going to play. We're ready. Smack down. Let's go. So take that for where it's coming from. Don't think we're hiding anything from you, but sometimes we need to be brief about what we're putting out there.
Exactly, because we do know we have some moles on the page.
We do.
So.
We kick them off every once in a while when they.
Yeah, we do. We catch them, but you know, sometimes we don't catch them all. We'll catch them eventually. We put the traps out there, but you know.
Is Sharon Grunfeld, is there any talk of a negotiated compromise between the two sides? See, Sharon, this then becomes an issue is because we are retired, we do not have a collective bargaining certificate and we are not supposed to be bargaining. That's why they're not supposed to be touching our benefits.
Right.
And right now they're not looking to negotiate or even have a conversation with us. We're trying to communicate with them, you know, especially the unions. We're trying to explain to them some of the things that they do not know that happen with this plan that are happening to retirees, that retirees have complained about, written notarized affidavits about, that the doctors have discussed with us. Unions don't know about all these problems. We did a video with a retiree, with Karen Miller, who brought up a very valid issue that the unions were not aware about. But when I spoke to them about in the last couple of weeks, they were like, oh my gosh, we didn't even think of that. Yeah, because you guys aren't on Medicare. These are things that you don't consider. You're not of age to be living in a living community. You don't understand these things. They're not on your plate. Totally get it.
Right. So
Joanne, when we opted out on the phone, we were told that since my husband was a city worker, anyone on else, me, the wife, my handicapped daughter, were all opted out. The three of us all received letters of the opt-out. I'm thinking you're making a statement there as you're telling us all three of you were opted out. If I'm mistaken, let me know, but okay.
Okay, so here's the other thing. I've been getting a couple of emails and a couple of texts. People want to spread the word. Yes, spread the word about us. Spread the word to people you know, people who are active. Again, Marianne has spread this out there in her videos and so on and so forth. Again, when we were like 20, 30 years old, we didn't, have kids and family. Well, I did, but, we didn't care about those things like insurance and all that and so forth. Get it out there, about retirement and about, these things, that were going on. Let them know what's going on, even if it's something simple to direct them to our website. We are working on stuff to get on our website, even if it's like, hey, log on to, everybody has a phone. Everybody has a smartphone to put down our web address. Say, hey, listen, do you know that this is going on? Spread the word. I have a few people have said, hey, do you mind if, we just tell us about it? Yeah, go for it, and they've been doing it. So we're working on some outside, sources that people can just, Spread the word. Spread the word. Hey, you know,
Yeah,
it gets
send them
out
to our
there.
Facebook, send them to our website, send them to our YouTube. And if you just send them to our website, nycretirees.org, that's easy because the links to our Facebook and our YouTube are there. And if you have a topic of something that you want us to do on a YouTube, let us know. I think we have another one to do this weekend. Hint, hint.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And then another question was opt-outs. How many opt-outs? So Jean's right. We have no way of telling you what the opt-outs are because the city is being very secretive about that. One, they don't want the Alliance to know how many people opted out because they don't want to scare the crap out of the vendor or any other future vendor that may end up putting in an RFP in for this. Also, they don't want to show weakness, which clearly they are because they're hiding the numbers. And then they're playing a game. They're going to say, oh, it's only, 64,000 contracts. Well, a contract for me is one person. I'm single. And contract for Michelle is two people. Are they actually spelling it out or are they not spelling it out? And so if they say it's only 64,000 people or just over 64,000, let's say 65,000 people to round off numbers because we know how OLR likes rounding off numbers. Rounding them up high, almost another $1 billion, $1 billion. So they want to round off a number, say 65,000 people opted out. There's a possibility that actually translate into 120,000 people. So this is why they don't want the Alliance to know that many people opted out. And don't forget too, they, DC 37, the unions, UFT keep telling people don't opt out. It's on their website, don't opt out. They sent us a letter in a paper shortage, global paper shortage, to tell you not to opt out, meaning they want to slow this down. So there's a reason. So that's why I can't really tell you because they're lying. I wish I could tell you, but I can't. But I do believe it's closer to the 100-something thousand mark than it is to the 64,000 something that they published. And that was only obtained via FOIA. You had to file a FOIA request to get that data.
Right, but even that request isn't even correct. And no, I can tell you to this day, I still have people asking, can I opt out and how can I do it? So, yes, and it's what, April? Yeah, it's April 9th.
Because the plan's not dead. And anyone who tells you the plan is dead, they're on drugs. Trust me when I tell you, this plan is not dead. They are spending a lot of money and hiring more attorneys to try to keep the plan and the possibility of us paying for it alive. It's not dead.
Right. So that goes to show you that people are scared and people are worried and there's an issue. Okay. So even I think my magic 8 ball says so.
Does it? Not sure if this was answered. I just popped on. Can you ask members to stop donation shaming others on the page? Yeah, Tom, I'm sorry. I don't spend a lot of time on that page because I have all of our wonderful team to do this. But if that is happening, if we see that, we will not only ban you, block you, we will publicly shame you and then boot you. So please do not.
Oh, let me know who's shaming who, because I will take care of it.
Remember something. No. We started this organization as a grassroots group. We had an initial ask of $25 a person. We thought even if that had to be a $25 a month donation, that would still be something that most people can give, right? We also learned that there's a lot of retirees that don't make a lot of money. Some do, depending on your job titles, your deferred comp, your whatever, and then there's others that don't. We respect all of you equally. We know that there are those that can and those that do what they can, okay? We get these beautiful cards, and when Madeline comes back, she'll show you some of these beautiful handwritten cards that people send us, sometimes with a $10 bill in them. It's important that you all know that we love you all in whatever your ability is to donate to this cause, and we appreciate it. And trust me, we get off these things, and sometimes we say we joke amongst each other, like we feel like Jerry Lewis, like it's a weekly telethon kind of thing. But we know that we're fighting for you and the work that we're doing, because you could see, we got these bags under our eyes. You know that we're working all around the clock because we're trying to reduce our legal fees and find research that could potentially be used by the lawyers. But do not shame. If I find that's
No.
happening, please don't do.
No, I can tell you right now, it breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Okay. And I am, listen, people who know me, okay, I don't say that often. And it breaks my heart at some of the emails or even the donations that come in. And I know it is genuine. And some of this stuff that I get, and it is heartfelt.
It is.
Okay. For me to even say that, okay, to have to, explain that, to tell somebody that don't feel like that, okay, that I respect whatever. I don't care if it's $1, okay, if they have to donate, okay, it doesn't matter. And
Every
I
little
will
bit
fight.
helps.
Right, every little bit
Yes.
help. And if somebody is getting shamed, then you tell me who that person is and I will take care of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can message us and tell us if you see that, because we may not always see it. The moderators are usually on top of everything, but remember too, I mean, this sometimes gets exhausting.
Let me know, Tom. Let me know. I'll take care of it.
Sadly, it's not going to happen to me syndrome of the young actives just have to keep spreading the word. And, I said this to another union guy the other day. I said, let me ask you something. You guys are in your 30s, 40s. Did you listen to your parents when they said something to you? No. I know I didn't listen to mine. Did you listen to yours? I didn't listen to mine. So if you're going, well, why should I listen to that, old whining, complaining retiree? That they're not going to want to listen to us. What we need to do is have the time, the patience, and the compassion to explain to them something that they're not familiar with. I don't want to tell them how to do their job, just like I wouldn't want them to tell me how to do mine. But in this situation, this is something that's going to affect them. I have to take the tone of that. And it's been working. I've been calling the unions. We have had some conversations, some very good. Michelle was with me with another one, and that person was actually quite surprised that I called them. I was like, do you know who I am? And they're like, yes, I know who you are. and open to trying to help me with another union. And this is what it's about. It's about networking, building, because this is what we did when we were on the job. We just, I guess, thought that we didn't have to do this in retirement. And maybe we didn't have to, or we thought we didn't have to, but I guess we're learning that we actually do. We need to remind them that this is something, that shouldn't happen. And I think at the end of the day, I think what we should be working for once this is resolved is that maybe the unions make a pact with this organization that they will never negotiate away a retiree's benefit ever, even in whatever financial straits that they are in. I would like to see, and we'll draw this letter up, maybe find a way that we can send it out to all of the unions to say, please make a pact with us that you will never negotiate away a retiree's benefit, period. And then sign their name, the union president, and their union. And if we make it something like that, maybe that will carry some weight in the future to the next generation that doesn't know where we came from or where they came from. So it's all you could hope for. Are you seeing anything else we need to answer?
No, I think that's it. I don't know.
You're not seeing anything else? I'm at the end. Thank you, William. You're a gem too.
Yes, thank you everybody for the kudos and everything else. Again, reimbursements, we always say, what was that?
Ellen says, if you get Mulgrew to sign that letter, I'll run around my block naked.
Hey, listen, I'll run around naked with you. Might scare some people,
I'll
but
run
hey,
with you, but I'm keeping my clothes on, sorry.
Hey, listen.
You guys are so funny. So, oh my gosh. You guys are funny. I'm glad you understand where we're coming from and that you support what we're doing. And we will keep doing these every Friday. It's a really good way to give you some feedback because we know you're not getting the answers that you want from where you're supposed to be getting them. We know that you should be able to call OLR and get a phone call and answer to your question, and you're not. We're not experts on everything, really. We're not looking to try. But if we can get you an answer, we will. And those that know Michelle and I know that that is who we are. We will give you an answer. We will find you an answer, and it will be the right answer. But thank you for supporting what we're doing and hanging in there with us. It's almost 9:15, so I do want to close this chat. And
Ann Ortega had a question. Hold on.
Who does?
Hold on. I don't know. Ann Ortega. Hold on. I gotta go scroll back now.
Please answer my question. And if you could retype it so we don't have to look because there's a million people in here and she and I are both looking and not seeing it.
Ann Ortega, what was your question? Just Ann, what'd you have?
Type fast, Ann.
Type fast, Ann.
Okay, you said answer my question. I don't know what the question is. Please retype what your question is. What are tomorrow's lotto numbers? I don't know those.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Listen.
Come on, Ann. Thank you, Renee. My babies are sleeping.
I know my dog's like old pouty head. He's already in bed.
Ann.
Come on, Ann. All right, Ann. Come on. What was your question?
Ann, please repeat the question. I don't see it.
Let me scroll.
I'm scrolling. If this is your question, I recently retired. I don't know why I have to wait 8 months to get a full pension check. I guess I had to pick my beneficiary crazy. Thus is the only pension system that does this. Why? If that is the question you want me to answer, I just want you to know, and Michelle can attest to this, and he may actually be on here right now. I just resolved a NYSERS case that took 18 months.
Oh, yeah.
I kid you not, okay?
Yeah.
NYSERS is, if you are NYSERS, they are inept. They're probably not as inept as OLR at this point, and I find that very hard. I can't believe I'm actually saying that, but yes, it can take you a long time. Once you have finalized, they will send you a finalized a form that your pension is being finalized. You need to pick out your final beneficiary. It is irrevocable. So make sure that you pick someone that you plan to be in your life for a really long time, because once you make that change, it's not changing. Once you make that option, it's not changing. And then they should be able to finalize that pretty soon. 8 months, you're usually around that time at this point in time with this whole COVID stuff that you should be finalized. If you are having a problem and it is NYSERS, you can message Michelle, message us at retirees@nycretirees.org. I will need some information from you, like your name, address, telephone number, your pension number, and I need to know what was the last communication you had with NYSERS as to what happened, and then I can help you with that. But if it's not NYSERS, I can't help you with it. That means that you just need to contact that pension office and make that inquiry on your own. But we can make, if it's NYSERS, I have enough contacts there that they have been working with us to help us with other cases. And like I said, I did just finish this case, what, about 2 months ago, 3 months, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. It took 18 months to resolve that man. I mean, there was an issue there too, but it did take 18 months to resolve it. That is not the norm. It used to be just a couple months. With COVID, it went to about 8 to 10 months. So you're in that area where it should be finalized. But that said, I told you what I need. If it is NYSERS, send it to Michelle, and I will help you with that on Monday.
Right, okay, so
Was
just
that it?
to, right, so just to finalize, again, we're putting the copay thing to bed. Enough? Okay, so we're done. Okay, again, the moderators came up with the page. There's a little post-it with a questions to post your questions there. So that you can put your questions in there and, you know, they can put everything and, you know, kind of gather everything together so it doesn't get lost in the page. And it's like this whole new thing that they're testing out. So stuff doesn't get lost, and kudos to them because
Yeah,
they're
because they
working.
wanted to keep all the Q&As in one place rather than a million different
Correct,
posts. So it makes
correct, because everything is getting lost and new people are coming on and, you know, everybody gets stressed and nobody sees anything and everybody asks a million questions and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, it gets crazy. So again, we want to make sure everybody's stuff gets answered. So again, kudos to them because they're the eyes and ears that are, or eyes, I should say, that are out there. So I appreciate them. So kudos to them. So shout out. So again, you know, but that's about it. So where are the questions
Ellen,
again?
look for the Q&A post. There is a
It looks
post,
like a post-it. It looks like a post-it.
and it'll say something like Q&A with arrows or something on there. And I think it was in announcements.
Right.
All right. It's 20 after 9.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, we need to go on a cruise, one-way cruise around the world without a cell phone.
Yes.
I have talked more in this last 9 months. I have a big mouth. Okay, so everyone, it's almost 9:20. I want to go to sleep. Thank you for everything. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for trusting us to lead this crazy ass fight against the city of New York to protect your health benefits where we never thought we would have to be there. Please put on your schedule for Wednesday to be at City Hall at 2 p.m. Make sure your cell phones are charged. You're gonna need it. And have a really good time. Have a good time. I want to see photos. That said, enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you next week. Ciao.